One of the most valuable skills in business today is the ability to get data out of a database and know what that data means. We do this using SQL. Maybe this is your first time, or maybe you've done it before but you want a refresher. Today's video is all about how to write SQL. I'm Woody Null. You're watching the Null Value Show, equipping you to add value with data and analytics. I've been working with databases for 15 years, and I'm excited to help you learn too. Writing SQL is a big topic, so this video will actually be the first in a series that I'll be doing. Be sure to click subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. Also, if you missed my video explaining what a relational database is, please go back and watch that now. Watching that first will help today's video make much more sense. One more thing, if you have a programming background, set that knowledge aside for now. SQL is not a programming language. Thinking of it as a programming language can just lead to confusion. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Just like English or any other language, there are words that mean things and grammar rules about how to structure your sentences. We're going to start by connecting to a database and clicking New Query or Control-N. I'm using Microsoft SQL Server. If you're using a different brand of database, yours might look a little different, but the functionality should be the same. In today's demo, we're going to be getting data from a sales database. We start by typing the select keyword. Then we type out the list of columns that we need. Place a comma between each column name in the column list, but not after the last one. Then we need to tell the database what table to get this data from. So we use the from keyword. And then we give it the name of the table. I'll point out now that spacing and line breaks do not matter in SQL. You can format your query in whatever way is convenient for you to read and work with. It could be entirely on one line, or everything could be on its own line. Or you can indent it any way you like. I like to keep it like this. We can now click execute or press F5, and this will run the query. There's our results. The database gives us all the columns that we asked for, and it gives us every row in the table. But most of the time, we don't actually want every row, especially if the table is massive with millions of rows. We usually only want to get rows that are relevant to whatever project we're working on. For this, we will add a where clause to the query. We'll specify a condition, such as item sold by particular sales rep. So we'll type the name of the column, sales rep, and then an equal sign, and then the name of the sales rep we're looking for. Now when we run it, we get only the rows that met our condition in the where clause. Now what if we want only items sold in a particular date range, such as between May 1st and May 31st? Well, we can put the order date and then use the between keyword and give it a start date and an end date. Now when we run it, we will get only the orders where the order date is between May 1st and May 31st. Now we could apply both conditions at the same time using the and keyword. And now when we run it, we get only the order dates that match our date range and only the sales reps that we specified in our where clause. If you're getting value out of this video, please give me a like. Now sometimes we want to see individual rows of data like this, but other times we just need a summary. For example, what is the total amount sold per sales rep? We can change up our select list to show only the sales rep. Then we can do a sum function and in parentheses place quantity. I'm going to erase the where clause for now. Now we need to specify a group by clause. The group by tells the database how we want to slice the sum. We want one slice for each sales rep, so we're going to group by sales rep. When we run this, the database will find each unique sales rep in the sales rep column and then sum up all of the items sold in the quantity column for that sales rep. You can see in the results pane that the column header says no column name. This is because it is not actually a column in the table. It's just a sum that we calculated on the fly, but we can give it a column name using what's called an alias. We simply type the as keyword after and give it a name. For example, total items sold. This will work with or without the as keyword, but I like to type the as so that it's very clear what I did when I come back to work on this later, or when someone else comes back to work on it. When we run this, we can now see that the alias is here in the place of the column header. Now that we have the data that we want, we can also sort it. In this case, we want to rank the sales reps by who sold the most items. We can add an order by clause and specify order by total items sold. DESC for descending order meaning highest to lowest. Or we could also do ASC for ascending, meaning from lowest to highest. So we can see, in order, who sold the most number of products. In this video, we learned how to write a select statement, how to find rows matching certain conditions in the where clause, how to summarize data and use the sum and group by, how to alias a column, and how to sort the results using order by. We just barely scratched the surface of writing SQL. In the next video in the series, we'll learn how to get data from multiple tables at once. Be sure to hit the subscribe so you don't miss it. We'll catch you next time on the null value.